cover. This one came off of a Honda engine called H23, and I already did this, but I'm not liking the color and whatnot, so this is a good experiment for me. My tool for the job is your valve cover, aircraft remover. I think what they meant to say was aircraft paint remover. Of course, you're going to need some gloves, goggles, mask, because this stuff is really toxic. But I'm using this stuff because I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to spend all day wasting my elbow grease and trying to get this stuff off. So I'm just going to apply this stuff all over the valve cover. Now you're going to want to probably do this in a well ventilated area, like the outside maybe. So as you can see, there's a little bit of wind. Sorry about the wind noise, but you pretty much get the idea. You'll get the gist of it. So just spray it all over the areas where you want to remove the paint, and you're gonna need to let it sit for a couple of minutes. Now I don't want to waste your time waiting for it to come off. So I'm just gonna layer on a couple of coats here, so we can get this party started. Get into the nooks and crannies everywhere. The little tough corners to get into. As you can probably see, some of the paint is starting to lift off already. Okay, so this stuff is really strong. Once again, I caution you, please, for the love of Christ, put some protective gear. If you're not experienced, you're not a pro, trust me when I say, you get this on your skin, it's gonna start burning. Okay, and what more if you breathe this stuff in? I'm keeping this away from my face. All right, now as you can see, while I'm letting this soak in, I'm really letting it soak on there. It's starting to lift, and it should be so soft you'll be able to just wash it right off. See the texture? If you get a really close look at it, voila, it's starting to do its job. You let it sit on there for a little longer, everything's gonna be cool. And just to give you an idea how easy it is, I'm just going to loosen up this paint, okay, and whatever stubborn paint there is, might want to do it twice, okay, twice as nice, do everything nice, okay. You see it's coming right off, and that's just the first application, okay. One thing's for certain, if I want to keep these letters, which I will, I'm gonna get a little more detail oriented here, and I'm going to mask off those letters and carve out with an X-Acto knife, or really sharp edged knife, to carve out the letters. Now there's so many ways of doing it. I prefer the easier method, which to me just exactly what I described above, or what I just described, which is go ahead and mask these letters and paint over, carve the letters out. And now as you could probably see, some of the lighter areas, those were masked off before. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing again, so that I have a little bit of nice little design, nice little layout of making it look stock. Okay, because this is this motor is original. It's rare, and I want to keep that. I want to keep that originality. I want to keep that rare, that that being of that rare being it is, that it is. So, just well, you get the idea. Just you can brush this off, or you can wash it off. Depends on how strong your pressure washer is. Okay, so just try to get as much off. With those little hard to reach corners, that's where I'm going to use the high pressure water at. But this is going to need another coat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash off this loose stuff. Remember, keep your distance. Wash off the loose debris. Get into those little nooks and crannies. And it's easy street from there. You can apply the next coat, or you can put the next application of aircraft paint remover even while it's wet. I've done this before, and I'm doing it the easy way. You could do it the hard way, the time-consuming way of elbow grease and paint thinner, sandpaper, whatever you want to do. If you're a tree hugger, much more power to you. But this is for the hardcore, not of the faint of heart type of deal. Okay. I just like to save as much time and effort as much as possible. The path of least resistance. Okay? You do this the easy way or the hard way. Your choice. So let that sit for another couple of minutes. And we're going to brush it off or even spray it off. Repeat the process, if necessary. Okay, as you can see, it's cleaning up really well. At this point, you're pretty much done if you want, but I'm gonna go for gusto. I'm gonna do the whole design, the whole paint, everything. Sure, everything's dry. Once all the areas that you want not painted are masked off, you're ready to begin. Light coat, very light coat, very light coat. Just just to start the process of the tackiness. That way the paint bonds better. Okay, very light coat. Remember, take your time with this, not in a hurry, okay? Okay, that's coat number 1. There's coat number 2. There's coat number 3, and this is what it should look like after I put 4 coats, okay, making sure that all the little tiny nooks and crannies are well covered. You don't necessarily have to spray into the holes because they're going to be covered with PCB valves or whatnot, screws. Okay, you don't want them to jam. All right. With a little TLC, you may end up achieving something of this nature. By the way, when you're doing this, make sure not to pull too hard, because you might take some of that paint along with you. Beats having to sand and polish, don't it? Voila!